got to make one risky choice in your life when you're young, whether it's buying a home or buying a motor car. If it works out, gosh, you're made for life. If it doesn't work out, well then you got to save again and start again. Got to put one step in front of the other and just keep going. Just watch your money very carefully. Save, 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 save. Why tell a lie when the truth will do? My name's Jenny Henderson. I'm 74. I never liked old people. I didn't like them one little bit. I love children. I still love children. But I never ever liked old people. To me they were dirty, stinky, cantankerous old women. And I mean, the one was my great granny, who I had a lot of respect for. But I think I've got a lot more compassion, and I feel a lot sorry for a lot of the women that have got Alzheimer's, that they're living in a dream world. And some of them, they are so frightened. Their eyes are big, and you know, you sort of, you want to put your arms around them and say to them, no, come on, we're not so bad. This is one big happy family. As a younger woman, I don't know, I did a lot of sewing. I used to sew everything in my house, from curtains to bedspreads to fitted sheets, pillowcases, my children's clothes, their pajamas, everything I sewed. So I used to love sewing and knitting. I don't have a machine anymore. My grandkids have got it, but I can still knit. Yeah, not that much. I've been crocheting lately. I'm making a blanket, and I've started knitting. I've got a jersey to finish, which I'll do shortly, because I've just had a great-granddaughter. So next generation is starting. I'll make them into a blanket, and then I'm going to make this between the squares to break it. So it'll be a big blanket by the time I've finished. And then behind where Stella is, I've got the jersey, baby jersey, that I'm also busy with. I was a very, very lucky person. I met my husband when I was 14. We went out for 7 years, and I was 21, nearly 22, when we got married. And he was a very, very special person, very kind. He had a lovely family, and it was, as I said, I have a very happy marriage. 4 children, 2 of them twins, and that was very special. Yeah, so as I said, there's a lot that I'm happy about, and I've got a lot in my life. I still blame myself that, although I was told that I shouldn't. My husband died of cerebral hemorrhage, and I always said that I should have taken him straight to a specialist, not to a hospital, and I never did. I thought I was doing the best for him, and I wasn't, I don't think. I think today, if he had what he did have, I think they would have drained it and fixed it. But then again, medical science has improved over the years, so I don't know. I really don't know. But as I said, it's hard to lose somebody that you love. And as I said, I brought up 4 kids of my own. My kids were 8, 10 and 12 when my husband died. But it's part of life, and I tell you, it probably made me stronger, because I had to be the mom and the dad in the house, and it did my kids no harm. It did me no harm. I'm still here. Okay, I did have support. I had a wonderful mother-in-law. My own mom helped where she could, if she could look after the kids for me, but she didn't drive, so she couldn't help as much as my mom-in-law did. And I think my own mom got a bit jealous of her, but that was one of the things you had to live with, you know. Grief, I was not very good, because I wouldn't cry in front of my children, because I felt that they were also feeling their grief, and if they saw me cry, they were going to cry too. So if I did my crying, I used to do it at midnight. We lived on a small holding with horses, and I used to go out and cry with the horses at night. And you know, you think a horse is a horse is a horse. One horse used to cuddle into me, put his head right here, and almost say, "Don't cry. We're here for you, don't cry." You know, it's unbelievable what animals can do for you. Absolutely. I mean, even this little one, I mean, he's so special. We were married for 13 years and 51 weeks. 1 week short of 14 years. He died a week before our wedding anniversary. But as I said, it was very special. We're a family that did everything together. And they say that a family that does everything together stays together. And we didn't. My husband was a very adventurous guy. I mean, he rode motorbikes with the boys and followed the girls with their horse riding, and then the boys went on to horse riding and he followed them. He loved sport. He had his own motorbike for off-road. He would never allow the children to ride a bike on the road. It had to be an off-road bike, and they had to have the protective gear, a helmet and boots and a chest guard and knee guards and elbow guards and all the guards under the sun to ride. But I mean, the boys loved it. And then they went from there to riding horses. So then all 4 kids rode horses. And my son ended up being a top show jumper in South Africa. And he gave up when his first daughter came, 16 years ago. But I mean, he represented South Africa on numerous occasions. Jumped in the derby, came second in the derby. As I said, he was a great show jumper. Don't do anything behind anybody's back. And as far as disciplining children confer together, I mean, he always used to say to me, "What they've asked to do this, what do you think?" And I'd say, "Yeah, okay, yes." And then he'd think about it and he'd say, "Yeah, okay." But if I said no, then he'd say to me, "Why did you say no?" And I said, "Because of this and this and this." "Oh no, that's reasonable. No, you kids can't do it." So I always had final say. I think the thing I'm most proud about at the moment is my baby great-granddaughter. I mean, she was only born the 3rd of this month, so she's still very tiny and very, very new. And it's a new special addition to our family. And as I said, that's absolutely great, you know. I'm so grateful for her. You must live life with no regrets. You must always go forward. I don't think I've got any regrets. I don't know, you just keep going. You just keep going. You've got to put one step in front of the other and just keep going. That's my outlook, because you got to be tough, and dynamite comes in small packages, my sweetheart. Never really lost a friend under any circumstances. I've been very, very lucky, you know. Chat to people, find out what they like, and then tell them what you like, and then you can discuss from there, and then chat, you know, and then find out about families, and just be open and friendly. Friends are very important in life. It's somebody that you can share your problems with. And I believe if you share a problem with somebody else, it eases it and helps you with it. As I said, sharing things with friends is lovely. Really good, really good. Cell phone, laptops, lots of things. I mean, I still battle with the cell phone because, well, it's mobile, it's called now. It's not called a cell phone anymore. And I still battle to forward things. I remember one time, and the next time I go and I have a mental blank and I look at this thing and I say, "Come on, you've done it before, get it right." Whereas the kids just go like this and it's done. They were born to it. But then again, if I think about it, my old mum, when she used to babysit for us at night if we went out, which was very seldom, I used to tape things on the TV for her to watch. And we had the old VCR with the great big tape, and I'd put everything in for her, and I'd say, "Mum, You got to push that button, the TV is on, just make sure it's on channel number 5. Yes, yes. When I got home, I said to her, well, did you watch the program? No, it wouldn't work. You told me wrong. Okay. Our biggest risk, my husband and I, was we bought our first house before we got married. I mean, it was a risk. I think our bond repayment was 110 Rand a month, and the little 3-bedroom house that we bought was 13,000 Rand. I mean, you can imagine. That was our biggest risk. And it paid off because we sold that house at a profit and bought the next one. And then from there we bought the small holding. So, I mean, it was a good anchor to start with, but it was a risk. You've got to make one risky choice in your life when you're young, whether it's buying a home or buying a motor car. You've got to make that risk. If it works out, gosh, you're made for life. If it doesn't work out, well then you've got to save again and start again. But I mean, if you're young, you can do that. Just watch your money very carefully. Save. Because I mean, I remember people saying to me, oh, when you're old age, you regret. Your money's going to be worth nothing. We were talking in the car the other day with my granddaughter's auntie, and we were saying, she started work same time as me. She was earning 120 Rand a month, and I was earning 110 Rand a month. And we thought that was such a big salary. I mean, with that 110, I bought a little motor car. My dad paid for it. I had to pay him back. I had to pay board and lodging. I had to pay bus fare of 16 cents a day bus fare. And I had to buy my own clothes and makeup, and I came out on 110. There was no saving then. You spent it all because you had to. But that's how life is. That was 1969. And as I said, we thought we were so rich. And to have that salary, have money in your bank account, that was wonderful. But I've still got in my bag there somewhere the letter that my boss gave me that said that I was being employed and this is what I would earn, and I was on 3 months probation, and mentioned the holidays and the bonuses and everything. I've still got that letter. And then when I left because I was pregnant with the twins, and I got a letter from my boss again to say thank you for working for him, and that if I wanted to go back, there would always be a place for me. And I just said it was a lovely letter. Always keep doors open, never ever shut a door. Old age is not for sissies, and I think that puts it very aptly. Because when you get older, your eyes give up, your nose, your teeth give out, your ears give up. Then you've got to grin and bear it and just take it as part of life. But it's not for sissies, that's for sure. Confront it and discuss it and try and see if you can come to an agreement. But always be prepared if you're in the wrong to apologize, and that is very important. I've always been independent. When I came here, I didn't have this lovely room. I shared a room with 3 ladies, all very special people, but it took a lot of getting used to because all my life, maybe I was lucky, but we had a little 4-bedroomed house growing up, and we all had our own bedrooms, so there was no sharing. And I mean, okay, except for sharing with my husband, I've never shared a room with anybody. And that was a big shock. But I settled in and I accepted it. And then, of course, when this room came vacant, I chose it because I am a very quiet person. I like to be quiet. I love to look at movies and, as I said, sit in it or sit and sew or do something. You know, I keep busy. I wouldn't actually be here if it wasn't for the big operation I had last year. And it has affected my health. But again, you've got to try and keep going. It's a stone around my neck. And the ladies will tell you that I curse and I swear and I get embarrassed because it's not me when things go wrong, but you've got to accept it and live with it. You've got it and that's it, you know. I've always loved gardening. I've always grown my own veggies. Not many, but I've grown, because to me there's nothing nicer than eating fresh veggies out of your garden. And now, of course, I can't do that. That I regret. But it's one of those things you just, now maybe it's my turn to stand and say, dig there, do this, do that, and have it done that way. You know, but it's not the same as getting the dirt in your hands. I've never ever worn gloves. I love the feel of the dirt under my hands. Then I feel I am working in that garden. Now, I've always done a lot of exercise. I've walked. I love walking, but I can't walk very far. Before I had my op, I had very, very high blood pressure, and I couldn't walk very far. But since I've had the op, touch wood, I've had no problems there. And it's gone the other way, thank goodness. But then, as I said, I'm not able to dig in the garden. I guess when I worked at the vet, one family came in on a Sunday afternoon, no, it was Sunday evening, dressed in their pajamas. They'd come back from holiday and their dog was dead, and it had been dead for a week. And the thing was stiff like that, and they wanted a post-mortem. And the more the vet said to him, we can't do a post-mortem, it's been dead too long, the more they insisted. And we were in fits, well, we had to hold it in. When they went, we were in fits of laughter. But I mean, they loved their animal, shame. Two mantras that I was brought up with. My father always said, honour your father and your mother, that your days may be long on the earth. And the other thing is, why tell a lie when the truth will do? And those two things, you can live a life without believing in those two things. I really believe you can. I would say that I should have sold my small holding when my husband died. I shouldn't have been so proud to keep it going. But my thought at the time was, keep everything the same for the children. Don't change anything. Their life must stay the same. But I think if I had really thought about it and sold then, I could have stabled their horses somewhere and we could have lived in a smaller house. It might have been a lot easier. But I didn't. As I said, I looked after the children, but their well-being came first. They were at a disadvantage. And I mean, I've been asked many a time, why didn't I remarry? Well, you must remember, in 1988, no man in his right mind would want to marry a woman with 4 children. You could forget it. Today, it's fine, but then, no, it was a no-no. And I mean, as your family grows, you give up a lot of yourself. But that's nature, and it's the way most people live, you know. My eldest daughter, she's a tough cookie. I think he would be so proud of her. I mean, at aged, I don't know, she was in her late 40s when she emigrated to Sweden. And she's now 50. She's a school teacher. She's a head of a department of maths. And she's learnt the language. And as I said, a tough cookie, he would be very proud of her.